So the first thing I'm getting is, and this came up in a previous reading, but it's a good chance I never uploaded it. Um, what I'm getting is whoever is challenging crossing boundaries with you right now is has fallen in. They've fallen in, they've sunk in, and now they're in danger of drowning. And at this point, you're not protecting them. If they don't call on Christ, they're just gonna drown, get absorbed into your aura. So I be careful of the stomach acid. Watch out for the stomach acid. Like all this time, people thought that you were pushing them away so that because you were afraid or something, but you were just kind. You're a kind-hearted individual. They don't know anything about that. They don't know anything about love. They don't know anything about kindness or anything like that. So you trying to protect people is like children playing at the edge of a cliff, and you're just like, watch out, stay back. But they see that as you being scared, like they're wolves or something, and you're like, don't eat me or don't bite me or something. But it's not like that at all. And now you've just moved on to a new phase in your life where you don't have time to babysit people, grown adults, and they're falling in. They're losing their lives. Okay. This is when Christ is risen. It was 40 days before he rose. I mean, after he rose, it was 40 days before he went on to the next level. And he said, don't touch me. He didn't want people to follow him. He said, where I go, you cannot come. You cannot follow. So, and then you have these angels who are escorting Christ. And this is a piece of art. So we'll keep that in mind. But, these people at the bottom almost look lost in confusion. Like it's just right back to the old shenanigans of being in doubt. And you see people today, over 2,000 years later, that still don't know anything about Christ. I mean, that's our calling, to spread the word. Only Christ, newly returned from Mount Tabor, the heavenly earthly spheres and divine human action. Basically, what I'm getting from this card is that you're in a place where you're basically going to sit apart from the crowd, from the people who are watching you and wanting to be like you and want a relationship with you and be on your level, or just be considered whatever you are. If they look at you like a really amazing person, then they're like, well, I'm sitting next to her, I'm sitting next to him, so I'm a really amazing person too. But it's just not how it works. That's not what's happening. They are in a separate section. They're whatever they are. They don't get to just look at you and become what you are because they're looking at you. You notice that here as well. There's someone sitting on the throne. I could be talking to a musician. And it's not about being better than the next person, although it is. It's precisely that. You studied to do what you're doing. You sit up on this altar so that people can get a good look at you, because you are the center of attention. And people in the audience who want that same attention that you have are delusional. Okay, she's playing a violin. She's surrounded by men, women, and angels. And some of these people have instruments as well. But you get that it's not a conversation happening. They're playing their instruments to God. They're not in her face trying to get her attention, trying to say, oh, well, I'm doing this better than you, like it's a competition. Or now it's my turn. You said something, now I get to say something. It's just not how it works. That's mental illness. You may have some friends who do this. Like you might go into a comedy show and then they tell a joke and then, like, what are they called? Hecklers or something. Yeah, I mean, most people know that a heckler has problems. Most people know that, but I feel like when you're dealing with these hecklers in an isolated scenario, they really think they're you. Like they really think they're a comedian. They really think they're funnier than you, and that they can get the same amount of laughs, but they're not on the payroll. It makes no sense for them to compete with you. They're not getting paid. They're not getting nothing out of it. And that little bit of attention is negative attention. Most likely they're going to get thrown out and banned. Let Mount Zion rejoice. Let the daughters of Judah be glad. I'm also saying walk about Zion, walk around this new area. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that traveleth, and they want as an armed man. Mm. So, yeah, the more, and this is interesting because you're forming a crowd, but it's a crowd of haters, a crowd of hecklers, and the more they follow you, the farther away from their own dreams they're pulled from, because they should be focusing on themselves. They should be focusing on their walk with Christ, but instead they're trying to fight with you. They don't want you to be saved, even though just by being in your presence is giving them the chance to mind their business, because you're not focused on them. You're not fighting with them. You don't care. You're not worried about them. But they look at you like, oh, this is somebody who isn't worried about me, who isn't focused on me, who's doing their own thing. Let me try and distract them or fight with them. They just don't get it. You're focused on Christ. They don't understand. What does that mean? They don't get it. They're not listening to anything you're saying. They just hear your voice and they're like, well, I want to talk to. Who is she talking to? Who is he talking to? I want their attention too. It's an illness. I mean, maybe these people never got attention growing up. Who knows? Maybe they are drunk on attention. Who knows what the issue is? I'm seeing demons. I'm seeing them being possessed by demons. Because nobody needs attention. That's an illness. Then God said, let us make man in our own image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move around the ground. This is what I'm talking about, these creatures moving around your feet, standing up on their hind legs and trying to pretend like they got some authority. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, and who loved me and gave himself for me. So you gave your body to Christ. Christ, his spirit lives inside of you and becomes this person that these creatures around your feet are competing with. And you know what they did to Christ. This is exactly what they want to do to you. They want to crucify you, but Christ already died for you. So now it's just like they've got these desires and wishes that'll never be fulfilled because they're evil. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness. We talked about kindness. This is something that you thrive on. This is what you are made of. This is your personality I'm talking about. Somebody else looking at this may feel like it's a wish list. Like, I wish I had a woman who was kind. I wish I had a man who was patient. But are you these things? Patient, kind, loving? And when you become these things, if it's something you work towards, you realize it's just really go around making a shopping list of other people's personality. It's something is a relationship with God that they need to work on, not just trying to be happy, be nice to people. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. And this joy here is mentioned twice. It's almost like, listen, people don't understand what love is. Love is dying. Love is dying for your brother. Joy, the joy of being nailed to a cross. I may be talking to somebody who's on this stage, who's on this level. I'm seeing somebody so eager to die that they snatch up their cross and run to the burial site, trying to nail their own arms They want to die so bad. That's how plagued they are to be on this earth. And Christ said it's not until you reach this point that you can even follow him. People want to be you so bad. And I'm talking about animals. I'm talking about creatures possessed by demons that move along the ground like snakes. These are the ones standing up to you, looking you in the eye and trying to be your mirror, trying to share brains, having telepathic, nonsensical conversations. Be strong and take heart, all you who hope in the Lord. Yeah, because I'm feeling like um somebody is accusing you of being aggressive, and this may be the snake had to take an axe on. Somebody had to take an axe on a snake, but this snake got in your face and was trying to act like he was you, trying to seduce you to feel like you slither on the ground, knowing you have two legs and he doesn't. I mean, he's lacking. He's the one lacking here. You had to take an axe to the snake. And now this demon is unleashed. It don't have nowhere to go. It's trying to possess you. And it's like, that was a little aggressive. You didn't have to hack up my body, this snake. These demons, rebuke these demons. Separate yourself from Satan's kingdom so that you can have the authority of Christ to rebuke these demons. Cast your burden on the Lord and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. We are more than conquerors through him who loved us. So this could be a spiritual snake. This could be a physical snake that crawled into your backyard, or this could be a human being who was possessed by deception, the spirit of deception, a liar, someone that you had to rebuke and confront and call out. I feel like you conquered them, but it's more than that. It's much more than that. It's you seeing that you don't have to deal with this. You don't have to deal with these type of people. Okay. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And then I'm saying, be strong and take heart. Oh my goodness. So God is preparing you for maybe a shock, something that may shock your system. Be strong. Get ready for it. Get ready for, oh my God. Get ready for what's coming. Let's continue. All right. Let's continue. It's almost like submit, bow down. But remember, this is a snake. You have 10 of cups. That's something you rebuke. Just because things come in your face and try to control the narrative and control what's going on in your environment does not mean you have to submit. So maybe you're new to the spirituality and seeing that everything is not physical. Some things are in the shadow realm, and you're just learning to acknowledge and accept who you are as a spiritualist. And maybe you're noticing coincidences, and some people call them angel numbers. I forget what the other words are. Biblical. I'm not sure. But numbers repeating themselves. And you feel like you have some connection with the universe and the divine. Not everything comes from God. Some things are the devil watching you and trying to play on your emotions and manipulate and control your actions. Ace of Cups. So Ace of Cups, 10 of Cups is like the both ends of the spectrum. I may be talking to someone who was all diagnosed with autism. So maybe you fit on this spectrum somewhere. These are your emotions. These are your blessings coming in. And I feel like it's a full range. It's a full range of you learning what actually makes you happy, whether it's dying on the cross, what gives you joy, what helps you to relax, just knowing that this is all you got to do. And this is your life. And Christ did it for you. So it's just faith at this point. just having faith in God and knowing that everything is going to be okay and everything is okay. Nobody controls you. People worshiping Satan are going to have to suffer their consequences for doing that. People judging others and trying to play God in other people's life are going to have to suffer the consequences. Five of Swords. I feel like somebody walked away with their head held low, and you just got stronger. Your thoughts are more certain, more wrapped around Christ, and you're just prepared for what's coming next. Okay? So you're doing what you love to do. Ace of Swords in reverse. So I feel like what you're doing is not necessarily about what these people around you, these hecklers around you. It's not like is your calling to feed them attention or make them feel better about themselves so they can get on your level. This is just somebody you're basically walking over. And I also feel like you're not walking on eggshells. So if they want to get tangled up in your feet, then you're stepping on them. And they can complain about how you got to where you are by stepping on other people's backs and this, that, and the other. But people who understand the journey know that you had no business wrapped around my feet to begin with. When they say you stepped on their back, they are outing themselves as snakes. If you were a grown man, you would have been walking your own journey and your own path, but instead you're wrapped around my feet, and then you complain about me stepping on you. So I feel like it's a joke, and you're not even going to let it linger for a second too long before you rebuke it. Realize it's a distraction. Is a work of Satan. Is meant to throw you off track or whatever, but you've come too far to even pay that second mind.